So a new trailer for Mortal Kombat comes up. I'm really curious how much can they mess the story after what they did. Like they messed so many characters. They messed Jax. Jax used to be this American patriot soldier. Like, he was like the most conservative character on the roster. And if you manage to win the game with him, he gains access to the hourglass that can reshape history. So he says, and I quote, he doesn't have time for people to get woke, and he removes slavery from history and creates the Wakanda version of Mortal Kombat. And I'm thinking like, okay, first of all, there is no foreshadowing about this. Like, never throughout the games, ever, has Jax ever complained about, quote unquote, the struggle of his people. Not once. In fact, Jax is a really strong family man. And the thing he loves the most is his daughter and his wife. And by rearranging history, he literally deletes his wife and his daughter from history. So, like that was just shoehorned in for some reason. Because, we have a black character. Let's give him some black activist talking points in order to pander to the progressive crowd. Like, literally that. They took a good character and they just made it a progressive mouthpiece. And then you have Sindel. Now, Sindel is one of the only characters in the game that actually looks like a woman. And I'm not saying as in, like, feminine. No. Like, she actually has the facial features of what you would expect a woman to have. Because most of the other cats, they're like transgenders. I mean, look at this character, right? She used to look like this. And now in this current game, she looks like this. And she looks like Leon from Resident Evil, doesn't it? Okay. But this is like pretty much the absolute state of NetherRealm. They cannot make female characters anymore. Almost all the women look masculine. It's not that they dress them up. Like, okay, I understand. You want to dress them up. Perfect. But they look masculine. They look like men. Hey, what are you doing? And they took Sindel's storyline. And Sindel used to be this this tragedy character where she was the queen of Edenia, and once Edenia got conquered by Shao Kahn murders her husband and forces her to be his wife. But it turns out that actually, you see, Sindel poisoned her husband and allowed Shao Kahn to feel like he captured Edenia so that she can manipulate him and she can have all the power and she was evil all along. Mwahaha. Why do you change characters that have an established fan base? And you change them into something that if the fans would have known about the way you're doing these characters, they would have never liked them in the first place. So yeah, congratulations. You're just upsetting people left and right. They took Shao Kahn, which used to be one of the greatest villains of the series. Like this barbarian, like Conan the Barbarian, basically, if he was evil. And they made him into a wuss. Like he just gets BTFO'd by Jade. Like, literally, in hand-to-hand combat, Jay just beats him. And I'm like, okay, why didn't she do that sooner? Why did she have to wait all this time when she could have just one-on-one him? Or was it Kitana that beat him? I don't know. It's like, I haven't played it. But it was like one woman that just beats him in hand-to-hand combat. And I'm thinking like, okay, so if she's that strong, why did she wait for this precise moment? But anyway, now they're releasing a new trailer. And I understand it's $40 for the expansion. 40 freaking bucks? Are you kidding me? Like, why is it that every time social justice infects a franchise, they start with the microtransactions and like they milk the consumer of all the money that they can get? Like, how greedy can you possibly be? Is there no limit to the amount of cash that you want? $40. Like, I would have bought this if it was a little bit cheaper. And it doesn't make sense. Like, if you don't have the game at all, it costs $60 in order to get it. But if you have the game, it costs $40 to upgrade it. It's like, are you kidding me? Jesus. Oh, let's watch the trailer.
Our work is finished, Liu Kang.
No, I just can't let this go. I literally cannot overlook this because it's a puzzle. It's a mystery which I need to solve. So the developer says that they're going to dress women all the way up because this is how the game matured. They have mature taste now. They're adults, you see. They're not children anymore. So they want to dress all the women up because this is respectful. And they want women to look like average women, not like supermodels. And then you look at the men and they're naked. They're freaking naked. Like, isn't he cold? Literally, is he not getting a little bit of a chill as he sits here, showing his pecs out? Why are you lying? This is what I want to know. Like, I don't care. Like, it's your game. You do you. You do your characters the way you want. Dress all. Put them up in a burqa for all I care. But what I want to know is, why is it that you're lying to people? What is the actual reason that you have to cover women all the way up while the men are being left the way they used to be? By the way, like, the women are actually made non-recognizable. Like, that's the problem that I have. Again, this is how the woman used to look, and this is how she looks in the game. Like, Liu Kang still looks like Liu Kang. Sub-Zero and Scorpion, they still look like Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Raiden looks like Raiden. But if you were to show me like this, I wouldn't know who she is, because this is how she looked in the previous game. Makes absolutely no sense.
Raiden.
It falls upon you to architect a new history.
Then together, let us begin.
Cease, Liu Kang, before you doom us all.
Shang Tsung?
Nah, I love how Shang Tsung is literally the Frieza of Mortal Kombat. Like, he was that villain that was really cool, and now they keep bringing him back. But now he's like the good guys. Also, notice, again, the men. Like, literally, all the men buffed up and half naked. I don't mind. Like, again, this is a campy game, over the top. People take bullets. Like, this is exactly how I would expect them to look. But why are you covering up only the women? Why are you doing that? Just be honest. Tell us the real reason. I want to know. Oh, and we have Fujin. My god, I love Fujin. I remember playing Mortal Kombat 4. Fujin was my favorite character.
In defeating Kronika, you destroyed her crown. Without it, you can't restart history. Send me into the past to steal the crown from my island before the hourglass shatters.
Why are we listening to this snake?
Because I am a snake who's toiled beside Kronika, learning her secrets. I know them. Do you?
That's like an extra reason not to trust you. But I'm not going to judge the story because it never made sense. Mortal Kombat is always over the top. But, for example, right? Mortal Kombat 10 ends very interesting way. It ends on a cliffhanger. Basically, Raiden goes to evil Liu Kang and evil Kitana, which are now the emperors of Netherrealm, and gives them a warning. You mess with Earthrealm again, and their consequences will never be the same. Perfect, right? It's interesting. It's like, oh, I wonder what will happen in the next game. And in the next game, Raiden attacks Netherrealm. Even though Netherrealm did nothing in order to assault Earthrealm, it's like, why did you give them a warning then? What was the point? Okay, I'm sold. Fujin looks really, really dope. I really like what they did with Fujin. Like, hands down, this character looks amazing. Hey, I know what you're saying. It's like, oh, wait, V. Look, Shiva isn't fully clothed. And my answer is like, bruh, this is a man, baby. Like, this is not a whoop. This is a man. Look at the jaw. Look at the Adam's apple. Hey, you know what I want to say? It's like, no, it's not that they're making a transgender in the game or anything similar. No. Like, this is how a developer actually thinks women are supposed to look like. Like, it's bizarre. No, like, when you actually look into this, it is so unreal because most of these women have human models. And they look nothing like the in-game avatar. Like, they modify the in-game avatar in order to make it look more masculine. Now, according to someone from Naughty Dog, allegedly, which was an insider, claimed that the reason they're doing this is to appeal to the transgender crowd. Like, I guess the idea is that one of the major concerns that a lot of trans activists are having it. Not even transgender people, like blue check marks on the Twitter. They're saying that if you do not have sex with a transgender person, you're transphobic, and they want to eliminate that. And one of the ways, I suppose, like if you were to look in art and entertainment and everywhere around you, and you would see women looking like this, then you would say, okay, well, this is normal, so, you would lower your standards, I suppose. But the problem is that you go out and you get to see real women. you get to interact with real women. So their little plan, their little shtick doesn't work. And not to mention there are other competitors. Like, to me, this is... I can't even say it's a turn-off because I'm not playing Mortal Kombat in order to get aroused. But it's distracting is what it is. Like, it literally pulls me out of the game. Like, if they would have just made this character be a guy, it would have been fine. Like, like, alright, so this is not Shiva, this is Shivu. Okay, Shivu looks like that, that's okay. But, it's a woman, and it's just so distracting, because you remember, it's like, instead of being in this fictional world, where, the different realms are fighting to each other, you're reminded that, no, this is like something that comes from California, yeah? And these are like the people that keep lecturing you as a gamer that you are misogynistic and sexist and transphobic and they're better than you. It's like you just keep having this in the back of your head, like constantly reminding you and distracting you from the actual story. So no, like Shivu is definitely not a character that I would be willing to purchase. It looks horrible. Oh God, they brought the cancer patient back. The Make-A-Wish Foundation is proposing their own character. I legitimately do not understand, like, why did they declare a war on femininity? How many women do you know in your life that are bold? And they're not bold because they have a disease. They're bold by choice. Like, it's a fashion statement. Like, how many? I'm legitimately curious. Like, here in Romania, I do not know a single bold woman. Not a single one. And I know a lot of women. I've been to 2 universities, okay? Maybe California, yeah, this is a fashion statement. I genuinely do not know. Like, why would you create a character that's bold? It makes absolutely no sense. And again, if it was just one character, I would get it. It's just one character. But it's a trend. Like, they just declared war on everything that's feminine. And they dialed the males up to 11.
You are under arrest, dirtbag.
Okay, so I guess they have RoboCop as another character, which is kind of cool. I kind of expected it, though. I think that it was like a major leak back in the day, and it's being confirmed now. It's kind of funny, though, because when RoboCop came up, most people were concerned about the cursing within the movie, and it's like, oh, kids are going to be exposed to this cursing and blah blah blah. That was back then. Now I think RoboCop is actually going to be very well spoken compared to someone like Cassie Cage or Jackie Briggs. Like, it's usually the female characters in these progressive games that have the worst potty mouth imaginable. I think, like, again, like, it's Californian culture. They believe that if you curse a lot, it makes you strong or something. I think that it makes you insecure unless you curse for comedic effect. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to buy this, to be honest. $40 is too much. I mean, I would have bought it for Fujin because I really enjoy his presentation. But dude, like $40 for this, and again, like I just am distracted by the story. Because again, you don't buy the game for the story. You don't buy a fighting game for the story. You don't buy it for, the cutscenes or whatever. You buy it in order to play multiplayer. At least that's me. Other people might buy it for different reasons. But Jesus, $40. No.